And tonight, the betting of the president continues as we bring you another edition of The Real Obama. Now, in this installment, we shine the spotlight on an executive order that the White House was hoping that you would never learn about. Now, the president signed the National Defense Resources Preparedness Executive Order late Friday afternoon. And since that time, now the measure has been virtually ignored by the mainstream media.
The New World Order.
Of the New World Order.
Far be it for me to question you, Your Highness, but might not the New World Order be better served by approaching the humans with a more benevolent hand?
And suffer further rebel insults? The High Evolutionary is right. They must be crushed! Begin your preparations, my knights. The destiny of the New World Order will be fulfilled.
Attention humans, by order of the High Evolutionary, you are commanded to vacate your homes immediately. Those who do not comply will be vacated by force. Identification confirmed. Next, step inside. You are under arrest for unauthorized altering of an identification implant. Come with us, rebel.
No, wait! It must have been defective. I'm not a rebel!
The affirmative task we have now is to actually create a new world order, because the global order is changing again, and the institutions and the rules that
our constitutional journey did not stop then, and it must not stop now, Judge. And we'll be faced with equally consequential decisions in the 21st century. Can a microscopic tag be implanted in a person's body to track his every movement? There's actual discussion about that. You will rule on that, mark my words, before your tenure is over. Can brain scans be used to determine whether a person is inclined toward criminality or violent behavior? You will rule on that.
The only people who don't want to disclose the truth are people with something to hide.
President Obama called for a new U.S. role on the world stage.
So we have to shape an international order that can meet the challenges of our generation.
Echoing a phrase made famous by the first President Bush.
We have before us the opportunity to forge for ourselves and for future generations a new world order.
The international order we seek is one that can resolve the challenges of our time.
We had a worldview, Republican and Democratic presidents alike, from Harry Truman to George Bush. President Bush kept said, and it's a phrase that I often use myself, that we needed a new world order.
A new world order.
The international order we seek is one that can resolve the challenges of our time.
An order in which a credible United Nations can use its peacekeeping role to fulfill the promise and vision of the UN's founders.
This five-pointed star was man. And if you flipped it upside down, the upside-down five-pointed star, with the goat, with his chinny chin chin and his ears and his horns, was the sign of Satan worshippers, a satanic star. Now, you can see on the American flag, our stars are right side up. But around the year 2000, the Republican Party changed their logo from the stars being right side up to the stars being upside down. Coincided with the coming on the scene of George W. Bush and Karl Rove. Very strange. I think they need an exorcism.
When we are successful, and we will be, we have a real chance at this new world order.
Shape an international order.
A new world order.
A new world order.
Look, this isn't a conspiracy thing. They like the idea of a global government that sort of micromanages everybody.
Good evening, everybody. President Obama and British Prime Minister Gordon today calling for a new world order to tackle our global economic crisis.
There is a global meltdown coming. It is a global depression, and one world currency and one world financial system is the end game. China said last week they want one global currency. France said yesterday or the day before that they want one world order, a new world order, at the end of this event.
Now, the order essentially gives the President of the United States absolute power over any and all American resources during both times of peace and national crisis. Now, this includes, but is not limited to, food and livestock, water, plants, energy, health resources, transportation, and construction materials, and gives the government the ability to, quote, control the general distribution of any material, including applicable services, in the civilian market. Now, White House Press Secretary Jay Carney laughed off a question about the document at today's briefing. Let's take a look.
There's been some online commentary suggesting this gives the executive branch power to allocate energy, food, water in either peacetime or wartime. And there are some conservative blogs that are pushing the notion that this suggests the White House is preparing for a war with Iran. Can you explain what this executive order was?
Well, I cannot explain that reaction to it. I think it was a fairly standard and routine piece of business.
Now, not everybody's laughing about this executive order. In fact, some have suggested this would give the President of the United States the authority to declare basically martial law during times of peace. And to be sure, this is simply the latest string of actions taken by the administration that ignore the basic principles of our Constitution.
Agenda 21, Sustainable Development, is the action plan. It is the blueprint to inventory and control all land, all water, all minerals, all plants, all animals, all construction, all means of production, all energy, all information, and all human beings in the world. Would you like to see all the executive orders that have been put into place to take over our nation, to have complete control over us, to take away our rights, round us up, and put us where they want us? Here we go. Executive Order 10990 allows the government to take over all modes of transportation and control of all highways and seaports. Executive Order 10995 allows the government to seize and control the communication media. Executive Order 10997 allows the government to take over all electrical power, gas, petroleum, fuels, and minerals. Executive Order 10998 allows the government to seize all means of transportation, including personal cars, trucks, or vehicles of any kind, and total control over highways, seaports, and waterways. Executive Order 10999 allows the government to take over all food resources and farms. Executive Order 11000 allows the government to mobilize civilians into work brigades under government supervision. Executive Order 11001 allows the government to take over all health, education, and welfare functions. Executive Order 11002 designates the Postmaster General to operate a national registration of all persons. Executive Order 11003 allows the government to take over all airports and aircraft, including commercial aircraft. Executive Order 11004 allows a housing and finance authority to relocate communities, build new housing with public funds, designate areas to be abandoned, and establish new locations for populations. Executive Order 11005 allows the government to take over railroads, inland waterways, and public storage facilities. Executive Order 11051 specifies the responsibility of the Office of Emergency Planning and gives authorization to put all executive orders into effect in times of increased international tensions and economic or financial crisis. Executive Order 11310 grants authority to the Department of Justice to enforce the plan set out in Executive Order.
But the fact of the matter is, we use the same advisors, and they say it's the same plan. And they say it's the same plan.
And they say it's the same plan.
There are some terrific Republican ideas. Mitt Romney in Massachusetts, that everybody has to buy in, but then the government helps out those who can't afford it. Those kinds of bold initiatives, I think the Democrats have to put forward if, in fact, we can credibly claim that we can run the country and not simply criticize on the sidelines.
Didn't represent her properly. They misrepresent her. Did they, and what do you say about that?
Well, obviously, I think that they represented her position properly, which is that she supported, in the past, NAFTA, which has been pretty hard on Ohio. Both of us want to provide health care to all Americans. There's a slight difference, and her plan is a good one. She mandates that everybody buy health care. She'd have the government force every individual to buy insurance. And I don't have such a mandate because I don't think the problem is that people don't want health insurance, it's that they can't afford it. So I focus more on lowering costs. And this is a modest difference, but it's one that she's tried to elevate, arguing that because I don't force people to buy health care that I'm not insuring everybody. Well, if things were that easy, I could mandate everybody buy a house, and and that would solve the problem of homelessness. It does.